Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today we're doing a DC-DC charger wire up and potentially a solar panel into the Prado. Now we've already got some parts out and we're going to run you guys how to do it and how we've done it. If you come here, this is the mini blade fuse wire tap, and we've chosen to run it. We're actually going to be running it into one of these, which on my Prado is a power outlet. So there's two here, as you can see there's a front one and a back one, 20 amp. So we'll put that in there, and then essentially wire from that will run into our DC-DC charger in the back. Now there's that little workbench, it's a bit rough, but these are the basic things you'll need. So this is our wire that will run through the ignition into the DC-DC charger, and then these are kind of just little extensions that will be connected sort of around here, because I've already got all the wiring. I've already got this whole setup besides this bit in the middle, so hence the two fuses, they're for here and here. And then that's for solar, that's a bit not ready for now. And then this is obviously, this is just the King's one. And this is actually to run the fridge, because it's an 85 lit up fridge and it only runs off Anderson. But I could also use this to put the solar panel on the roof. And then this is the DC-DC charger in itself. You get a little warranty card with it. Now I went with this one because it had the most reviews and it was a very good brand at making this sort of gear. So, but I also got the 40 amp one. So I got the 40 amp one, and as you can see in here, our DC charger will run, I'm pretty sure, onto this side here, and then we'll just have to switch these to run a lithium battery and connect it all up. So hopefully it'll be pretty simple, and yeah, we'll take along for the ride. And you know, I'm no expert, but we'll try and show you everything we do, and hopefully it all goes in pretty smoothly. And if you have any questions, you have a Prado yourself, I might be able to help you out. But end goal is that we get it just in here next to the inverter. So you can just see the inverter in there. Might move that forward and put the DC behind it. And then the dream is to have the fridge actually running. Okay guys, so very simple. So Dad's just put this little inline fuse here, which you saw before. And then as you can see, it sort of sticks over the top. So Dad, you'll put that fuse in there. And there's two, and they just go onto the side. So one will go on the bottom, and then one will go on the top. And we've got an extra spare one here. So obviously you're kind of bypassing what's there, because there'll be one in there to run what it ran before, which is the rear outlet, and then there'll be one in there to run the wire we're doing now, which is the DC-DC charger.
It's going to be hard getting it out, man, if they're so close together.
Oh, once they're in, they're in. And then
where's the other fuse?
Just there. And then this wire, we're going to run it over here, over to the engine bay, through the firewall where the spotties run through, and we'll bring it out here, down here, through here, all the way into here, and the DC charger will be here. Huge update that I've just discovered. So we're going to run it through there like we said, that's all great, but as I was taking apart the dash, I noticed that there's obviously, you Prado owners will know, little fuse box down here, and we've just checked and earthed it all properly. These top ones up here, to my knowledge, they only are live when the key's in the on position, which is obviously what we need. And then that bottom left one there, this bottom left one here, that does come on when it's on accessories, which is obviously bad. We only want it to switch on when it's on. So instead of running it through the firewall, spending heaps of time, we're just going to plug it in there, and then it's all within the car. We can run it straight here back to the battery. Okay guys, so update where we're at now. In here you can just see that top left, there you go, that's our new fuse running in, and then that wire runs all the way through the trim here, down through here up to there, as you can see. And then I've just moved these two around, so obviously we've got the Energy 40 amp DC-DC battery charger and the King's inverter upside down, and it's upside down because power point's on this side and the prongs are on this side, and if it was the other way I wouldn't be able to really get that from the back. So I think it all looks pretty good and pretty neat. I just try and make them the same line across here, just a bit lower than that, so if something did smash this it wouldn't hit these. And then yeah, this is, if you've got a lithium battery like me, that's how you want your switches if you have this model. So pretty much if the switch is down, it's on. So as you can see, 4 of them are on, and then just one of them's off. Okay guys, so now this red wire will run into here, into the D+, and we'll also get our positive negative cables into here, and this into the battery, and so on. Okay guys, remember the last clip just showed the Renault G 40 amp DC-DC charger. Well, that's gone now. And the reason is, nothing wrong with their brand is fine. It's just it was drawing too much power from my car. I was in traffic and the car stalled and died. And 40 amps is too much to be drawing from my alternator. So in here right now, it's bare, okay? So what did I get? I actually changed it. They do a 20 amp one. I could have just gotten that, put that straight in, and that could have been fine. But what I didn't realize when I bought that originally, I thought it had a solar regulator built in, but it didn't, which is the, I think it's MPPT or something. So this car, I'm having a solar panel on the roof, so I didn't want to buy 2 separate modules because that costs a lot of money, it takes up more space. So I'm not going to go with the Renault G1 anymore, the 20 amp, and I'm just going to get iTech's World one. So iTech World Do one, I'll put it on screen now. It's a 25 amp and it's got the solar regulator built in, and it's also really hard case shell, so you can actually mount it if you wanted to. You could literally mount it in the engine bay on the battery, which is over here for me. So that's another option if I wanted to do it, but I'll probably just put it back the drawer where the old one was, because all the wiring's there ready to go, and all I need to do is put Anderson plugs on the positive and negative, and the solar is an Anderson plug as well. So all I have to do is literally plug a cable in the solar panel, because that already has one on it, and then just plug it in to the new iTech World 25 amp DC-DC charger. So it's going to be such an easy, simple install, and we're going to do it right now. Okay, so a week or two later, and there's nothing here, all the wires are here ready to go. And then we got the new ones, this is from iTech World. And these are about $450 on store, but I got it on sale for about $250 I think, for Boxing Day sales that were quite late. And so it's 25 amp DC-DC charger, and you get your user guide. And then in here, you get 3 of the offcuts of this, and it's really simple and straightforward because on here it has alternator and ground, this one's solar and ground, and this one's output and ground. So it's kind of labeled them all, and it's labeled them on here as well. And then this blue one's the ignition wire. So it's a little bit smaller at 25 amps, the other one was 40, but the other one was also killed the battery mid traffic, which we don't want. So this is a bit smaller, which is nice, and it has an inbuilt solar regulator. So as you can see here, we can set the mode to what battery we have, and then we can hit that for solar priority if we want it to take solar as priority over the alternator charging it. So as you can see, it's all pre-made and heat shrink, and this little bad boy will just fit on here like this. So we're just going to go to the shop now and get some cables that will make it go from this small size to the thicker size, because all these wires here are quite thick, as you should be able to see here. So we just need you can see there's quite a big size difference there. So we just need to get some cables that will adapt it, and then hopefully once it's all installed, it will literally just be a matter of clicking all these Anderson plugs in, and it should be pretty sweet. Okay guys, so the iTech World charger is in now, and it's running like a dream. So as you can see here, solar's flashing, solar priority's on, and also the battery type. So pretty much right now it's getting sun from the solar. The flashing pretty much means it's charging, and it's running like a dream. Now it's a bit messy, but it works like a dream. Okay guys, so all these Anderson plugs are connected in correctly and running smoothly, and then that blue one's the ignition wire, which is obviously that hard one we had to pull from the start of the video through the fuse. And then you can't see in camera, but if I press this little button here on the battery box, tells me the voltage, and I can see that it says 13.1. So it's always topped up at a nice 13 volt sort of spot, which is amazing. And it does have the lithium obviously, so I do run the inverter and it still sits at that figure, which is really nice. If you're in the market for a DC charger, highly recommend this one. Huge bonus is the fact that it has the built-in solar regulator. So I've got a wire that comes out of here. It's this Anderson plug here that has the green and black on it, and it's this wire that comes up here, as you can see, and that runs up there, connects into the solar panel and charges it. So super awesome that it can do 2 things at once. And the case of this is very durable, so you can actually put this in the engine bay, for example, if you had no room. But I want it to be in the car, and I can actually see these LED indicators when I'm driving, so it's actually a bit sneaky. I can always monitor it 24/7. Okay guys, just thought to add, this is a 6 meter King's end spod cable. Now you're probably wondering why is one end cut. So I actually cut, this is 5 meters, and I cut this off because my wire that went from the battery box to there was 6 meters. I didn't want voltage dropped. Now, granted 5 meters off might not do enough difference, but I can assure you do a little bit of difference. So now, the cable from here to the fridge is like a meter, which is great, instead of 6 meters. So just another little thing I did there, just to take the stress off the battery charging and everything else operating. So we get the maximum efficiency charging from the box. Okay guys, well that's how I installed my DC charger. As you can see, I had a bit of dramas with the Renogy one, but it really wasn't their fault. It was just too big of a charger and it's killing the car in mid-traffic. But the iTech World one's running like a dream. 25 amps, a little bit smaller. Helped my car out, might help yours. If you're having a big American truck or any sort of big car, you're probably fine with a 40. But for this old girl, it was killing it, okay? So that's just my experiences. Hopefully this helps you if you want to do one yourself. And I think Renogy or iTech are a great choice. But if you want to get the solar regulator built in and save a bit of money and a bit of room in your car, go iTech World. That's what I recommend. But until next time guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you learned something. And if you want more videos like this, let me know. And I'll catch you guys next time on Built Prado.